From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. Roz. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello.
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha. We heard that you want to introduce the news.
Yeah, I do.
What's your name?
It's Sonia.
Sonia. How long have you been listening to the Roz and Mocha Show for?
Okay, I consider myself a super fan, but I never call in. I listened from when it was Jack FM to Kiss to whatever, and then back to Kiss, so literally from the beginning.
Wow.
But I don't call in because
right.
I never think anyone's going to call back.
So, Sonia, you are, as what we call, a flaming Romo.
Yeah.
So you think you know what it takes? You know exactly how introducing the news goes? Like, we don't have to do the setup. We don't have to coach you or anything. You know what to do?
No, but I got to get to a quiet place real quick because
Why? Where are you?
I'm at work and I work in law enforcement and there's people all around me.
Are you a cop? Are you a cop? Like, are you in uniform?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
So what, you're just going to leave the bad guys that you're looking after right now to go outside?
I got to do the news. I got to do the news.
Yeah. Just clip them to the bench like they do in the movies. Just like I'll be right back. Damn it, Maury's a very harsh critic of when people call in, and Maury's in a salty mood today. So, officer, I would do your best. Not one to to take it away from anything you do, but when it comes to introing, let's do the news, Maury's the one who lays down the law. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
All right, Sonia, anytime you're ready.
Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
You ready?
You know it.
Let's do the news.
Wow. That was good.
Wow.
That was great.
Wow.
Congratulations, Sonia.
Wow.
You killed it.
Thank you.
Hey, are you wearing a bulletproof vest right now?
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. That's a lot of weight on that chest. It's a lot of weight.
Love you, Sonia.
Love you too. Thank you, guys.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
Fiona Harvey, who claims to be the real Martha from Netflix's Baby Reindeer, has actually launched the lawsuit that she was threatening that she was going to launch. She is suing Netflix, alleging defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and violations of her right of publicity, seeking damages of at least $170 million.
Damn. Hey, is this Baby Reindeer? Because I haven't watched it, right?
Yeah.
Is it as messed up? Because I was at my barber shop yesterday.
Yeah.
And my barber was like, I started watching because I heard you guys talking about it.
Yeah,
and he stopped like midway through, I don't know, episode 2 maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I can't deal.
It's
Because I don't even know what the full story is.
I know. Aside from all the
stalker.
controversy and everything else, like it's a pretty compelling story, but it is not an easy watch.
Okay.
Right? Like it's not something you just curl up. Like it's a tough watch. Like it's.
I'm not into that.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd agree, right? Everybody else who's
Absolutely.
seen Baby Reindeer?
Yeah.
It's
You haven't
not-
seen it. No, I haven't seen it.
It's not an easy show.
No,
to
I think
watch.
my life is better without.
It's good. Like it's done very, very well. But it's not.
Was it a stage play before this?
It was a one-man show. Wow. The guy who's the guy in the show is the guy in real life, right? So he wrote.
How does he act this out? Like it was so traumatic for him.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it. I started watching another one that's kind of similar on Netflix instead.
What's it called?
Eric?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that great either.
No? Oh, I just started it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I like it's Benedict Cumberbatch. I like it, but I like it takes a lot for me to sit and watch a show about a kid that goes missing. You know.
Oh, I ain't watching that, guys.
Yeah, it's just
sorry.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, by the way.
I'll watch Across the Spider-Verse again.
Yeah, there you go.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Larry David on Jimmy Kimmel last night getting busted. I don't want to say busted in a lie, but I guess busted in a lie.
Oh.
You were supposed to be our guest. I hosted the Oscars on Sunday night, and on Monday, you were our guest. And we like to have a great guest on Monday night after the Oscars because it's a big audience coming in.
Yeah.
So we asked you, and I was excited you said yes. And then sadly, your friend Richard Lewis passed away shortly before the Oscars, and I was friendly with Richard as well. And your people or you contacted us and said, "Listen, whoever it was said, listen, I'm not gonna do the show because I'm feeling sad about my friend losing my friend," which I totally understand. And then I hosted the Oscars on Sunday, and I went to a party after the Oscars, and who.
Are they showing a picture?
No, Larry's sitting there going, hurry up, hurry up, hurry
at
up.
that party, smiling broadly, I might add. But Mr. Larry David.
Come on.
Okay, so you want an explanation?
Well,
I used the death of my best friend to get out of doing a show I didn't want to do in person.
You know what, though? That's such a Larry David thing to do.
Love that, man.
Oh, my God. So good.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, do we have time for Magic Johnson real quick? So
Yeah,
Magic
always.
Johnson on with Kimmel last night as well. And he's an owner of which WNBA team? The LA team? Is that what it is?
Sparks.
Yeah. So, of course, Caitlin Clark comes up in the controversy of that. And so here's Magic Johnson's advice for Caitlin Clark.
Now, Caitlin, her teammates got to come to her defense.
Sure.
You can't allow her to have to fight every battle, right?
Right.
But we have to understand that both Caitlin, Angel, and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA better. And they're going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time. Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
There you go. Solid advice, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
And quickly before we go, hold on, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. Give me 1 second.
Oh, was it
Please bear
this?
with me.
Walk on Delilah, no, I'm late cause there's bad traffic.
Yeah, shorty.
It's so stupid. That whole thing.
Is that even really Drake?
Is so stupid.
Does it matter at this point?
Walk on Delilah, no, I'm late cause there's bad traffic.
It's so
I'm so cheese.
Sorry.
Stupid ass voice.
I thought you were going to finish that by saying cake afterwards. Come on, cheesecake.
Anyway, Michael Cera's 36 years old today. I thought
No,
Michael
he's
Cera,
not.
yes, he is.
I thought he was older.
Way older.
I think he keeps getting 21 over again.
Way older. 36.
Michael Cera.
God, he's older than
40s at least.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Although he's got that like 14-year-old's body for life,
But he has
right?
old man head.
What are you talking about?
Like his face looks older.
No. Who are you, judgy? Jesus. But anyway, happy birthday, Michael Cera. 36 years old.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jax Taylor's bar, I guess in Los Angeles, is being flooded with horrible reviews. So since he opened
Is it because everybody hates him?
the LA-based sports bar in 2023, he's been on like the rough end of some one-star reviews on Yelp.
Oh, no.
One person writing, terrible service, waited over 2 hours for food, never got it, but all the other sections did. Didn't even receive an apology for the terrible service. Somebody else wrote, everyone was so rude. We were so disappointed. We had left after 10 minutes, never going back. A lot of users also were saying that the restaurant is just randomly closed at odd times, so you never really know when it's open to be able to even go. And then recently, there was a viral video that circulated of Jax and his estranged wife, Brittany, changing their son's diaper on the food prep counter.
Oh, come on, guys.
And then people complained to the Department of Health, and then they've since launched an investigation, and he hasn't addressed the video or the negativity or all this stuff, but it's not looking good for Jax Taylor's sports bar.
That sucks. That sucks.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Rihanna out there trolling fans in New York City. She was out with A$AP Rocky wearing a T-shirt that read, "I'm retired."
No.
Come on, Riri.
That's
That
amazing.
sucks. Oh,
It actually
come
read,
on.
"I'm retired. This is as dressed as I get."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like a dad T-shirt kind of thing, right?
Still not getting
But-
an album or a song.
Yeah, no, it's been
Right? She earlier this week, didn't she launch like part of her Fenty product? She's like hair care now?
Yeah, it's
hair
a
products?
new hair care products. Yeah.
Get the bag. Get
All
the
over
bag.
Sephora.
Yeah.
Get the bag.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Corey Harris is back in the news today. So Corey Harris was the guy in that viral video in that court case where he showed up to a hearing via Zoom for a charge of driving with a suspended license, and he showed up on the Zoom while driving his car, if you remember this.
Mr. Harris, are you driving? Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. I'm parking right now. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
That is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
He's suspended, and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Okay.
I thought
And
we were
then
good, though.
a couple days later, everybody was like, Corey Harris is owed a massive apology because they said that this driving without the suspended license charge was based around a custody case that was happening. And that a judge lifted in 2022 his suspended driver's status. So he was allowed to drive, but due to a clerical error, that paperwork was never filed.
Okay.
So they had said, we all owe him an apology because he should have been allowed to have been driving. And yet he went viral, and then he said that he felt terrible and all this other stuff. So now he was back in court yesterday, Corey Harris, in front of that same judge, Judge Cedric Simpson, when Cedric Simpson laid down the bomb that his office had actually done a lot of the work. And one of the reasons why he didn't make any comments on it because it was still ongoing in his office. And they discovered that Corey Harris has never had a license.
At all.
At all.
What?
Here's Judge Cedric Simpson.
He has never had a Michigan license, ever, and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths. The way I know that he's never had a license, May 3rd, 1999, he applied for his first Michigan ID. You cannot have both. You either have an ID or you have a license. He has religiously every year gotten a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. I just wish he would have said that at the beginning. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all aside.
Why do you need an ID and not a license?
Because, well, it's you need ID to do stuff, right? Like when you need ID. So normally it's your driver's license. But if you don't have a driver's license, you can apply for a state ID, which is valid ID.
Oh, okay.
But you
It just
can't
doesn't
have
allow
both.
you to drive.
No, you can't have both. You can't
So
have
why
a
wouldn't he
state
just,
ID.
like, get a driver's license? Come on, Corey.
He's never had a driver's license. So when they suspended his ability to drive in Michigan, they suspended his ability to drive.
Is he confused or a liar?
He knows he does not have a driver's license.
Put in reverse, Corey.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have listed their house that they bought together, their marital home.
Is that the one that they were on the hunt for?
Yeah, $60 million. Multiple sources told TMZ over the weekend that the couple is using a realtor, and then it sort of went through the listing process, and they're doing showings on it. They have not had an offer.
Well, yeah,
it's been
60
about
mil.
2 weeks now.
They have to drop the price.
So they're asking. So I guess they bought it for 60.85, and they're trying to sell it for 65 mil. And it is a massive, massive house. So the house itself is 43,000 square feet.
Isn't that bigger than a mall? I was going to say a mall.
17 bedrooms and 30 bathrooms.
Who needs all that?
And parking for 80 cars.
Honestly, who needs all that?
That's this building. It's like one person, right? Like,
yeah.
Like how many,
Who
like
needs all that?
realistically, like, and also, like, if you have that kind of money, most people just build it themselves, right? Like, that's the.
But why do you need all that space, is my question.
I don't know.
I immediately think of how many rolls of toilet paper you need to buy.
Bro, like 30 bathrooms?
Yeah.
30.
One person. You just use a bathroom every single day. It takes you a month.
But I guess
before
they're
the
not all
rotation
showers and baths. Like some of them are just the
30 bathrooms,
We're
Maury.
about showers, man. Who cares?
Does this building have 30 bathrooms?
No, there's no way.
Oh, our building? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the size.
How many
of-
floors is this building?
10 floors.
So on this
side,
on this tower.
No, this building that we're in.
This one
10.
right here is 10.
Yeah, okay, so 10 floors, right?
You might be right, Roz. Seriously, because there is one. Oh my God!
Is there two?
There might be 30. There might be 30.
There might be. This is an office building.
Don't forget the 2 in the basement.
This is an
Okay, so
office
30
building.
so 32.
Okay, so sorry. So the building we work in that houses hundreds of people has maybe the same amount of bathrooms as Jennifer Lopez's home. Okay?
That's a flex right there.
That's crazy, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Max Verstappen won the
yes.
Canadian Grand Prix over the weekend.
For the 60th time in Formula One, Max Verstappen takes the win. Red Bull back on top. Max Verstappen wins the Canadian Grand Prix.
There you go. Did you watch any of it?
A bit. It was rain. So much rain. Always rains on Canadian Grand Prix weekend.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Will Ferrell on the carpet for Despicable Me 2 doing an interview with People Magazine, lobbying hard to become People Magazine's sexiest man alive.
Look. What are we looking at? We're planting the seeds.
Oh,
Yes.
You are. I would vote you.
Okay? Because you guys never have comedians. So get it going internally. All right?
Dare I say you look
Sexiest man.
villainous today?
Yeah, that was the idea. But a sexy villain.
Sexy
A sexy soccer playing villain.
Okay, 2 questions for you.
Sexiest man, People Magazine.
Oh.
Let's make it happen.
It'll happen.
You think so?
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, do you have that Dick Van Dyke clip over there for me? Real quick. So Dick Van Dyke.
Who?
Dick Van Dyke was, where would Mocha know Dick Van Dyke from?
Mary Poppins.
No, Maury.
Man, I've never
You
seen
think
Mary Poppins.
Mocha's seen Mary
Lady with the
Poppins?
umbrella.
Well, I'm not going to
right?
say the Dick Van Dyke Show.
No, where? Like Dick Van Dyke. Not Mary Poppins, huh? Never seen Mary Poppins?
That's his most popular thing.
Night at the Museum.
Oh, Ben Stiller. You know, we just watched Night at
He's
the
in
Museum
that?
the other night.
Yeah, he's the old security guard, right?
Yeah, he's in that.
Oh, the crusty guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Dick Van Dyke from Night at the Museum.
That's a great movie, by the way.
He was at the.
So what has he done? Why
At
is he-
98 years old, became the oldest person to win a daytime Emmy Award for his role in Days of Our Lives over the weekend. Here's a little bit of Dick Van Dyke.
Thank you. I don't believe this. I feel like a spy from nighttime television. I'm the oldest nominee in history. If I had known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself.
Yeah, that's the boy. That's the guy. Night at the Museum.
God, 98 still working. I saw a picture of Clint Eastwood the other day. First of all, Clint Eastwood, the older he got, he still looked like Clint Eastwood, right?
Uh-huh.
Just an older version of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, crusty old guy.
Clint Eastwood no longer looks like Clint Eastwood. Like Clint Eastwood is now old enough where he's gone into like bridge troll territory, right? Where he just doesn't look like the same guy anymore. Clint Eastwood is also in his 90s, and I saw a picture of the other day, and I was like, and I was like, oh my God, look at Clint Eastwood like sitting in a chair, and then the caption was Clint Eastwood directing his latest film.
Oh my God.
Oh, what? Bro, I'm looking at a picture of this guy.
Look at Clint Eastwood 2024.
Yeah, he should be dead.
Right?
He actually looks like he's
but
dead.
he doesn't look like Clint Eastwood anymore. Like
No.
he's like his body has like changed. Like everything about Clint Eastwood has changed. Where he no longer, because he always looked like old Clint Eastwood from the young dashing Clint Eastwood. But now you look at Clint Eastwood, he's just like with the one in the blue fleecy I think he's wearing, where he's sitting in the chair directing his movie.
He doesn't
but
look good.
he's still out there directing. He's making movies, man.
I mean, Betty White worked till 99.
Not like this though.
Isn't she on Hot in Cleveland?
Yeah,
He
but
looks
not.
like, remember in Empire Strikes Back? You know the snow monster?
Oh,
On-
yeah.
on
On Hoth? Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to say the Emperor, but yes.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
After 41 years on Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak, who apparently made $15 million a month hosting this show.
Wow. A month?
Said his final farewell in kind of a baller way, like no tears after 41 years. Everybody else cried, right?
Yeah.
But Pat Sajak, he's like, no, peace.
Well, the time has come to say goodbye. I have a few thanks and acknowledgments before I go. And I want to start with all of you watching out there. It's been an incredible privilege to be invited into millions of homes, night after night, year after year, decade after decade. And I've always felt that the privilege came with a responsibility to keep this daily half hour a safe place for family fun. No social issues, no politics, nothing embarrassing, I hope. Just a game. But gradually it became more than that. A place where kids learn their letters, where people from other countries hone their English skills, where families came together along with friends and neighbors and entire generations. What an honor to have played even a small part in all that. Thank you for allowing me into your lives. That's it. Thank you all so very much, and goodbye.
That's it.
Damn. All right.
He's a Trump
Classy.
guy.
If you want
You know
to
what
talk
I mean?
baller, he
You
started
know
the
what I
whole
mean?
game show by giving everyone $500 that day.
Yeah, it's not his money,
yeah, it's not
Maury.
his cash.
Baller. No, he's a Trump guy.
He is.
For
There's pictures
sure.
with him.
you can tell. I can just by the farewell. I can tell. There we go, Pat Sajak. What a legend.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
And Celine Dion, this is the interview that she did with Hoda that they've been sort of teasing for a while now. And when you listen to Celine Dion talk about what she's been going through, because she came out with having SPS, which is stiff person syndrome, which sounds like a made up thing. Or
I didn't even know about it until the story that Celine has it. came
Yeah,
out.
and it's very difficult to live with. But when you hear Celine talk about what she's actually had to deal with, my God.
What was happening to your voice when you were trying to sing and
It's like somebody's strangling you. It's like somebody's pushing your larynx, pharynx this way.
oh,
So it's like you're talking like that. And you cannot go high or lower. It gets into a spasm. It started here.
yeah.
No, okay, it's
Yeah.
going to be fine. But it can also be in the abdominal, can be in the spine, can be in the ribs. But it feels like if I point my feet, they will stay in an, or if I cook, because I love to cook, my fingers, my hands will get in a position.
Like they're
my
cramping.
feet, it's
Kind of.
cramping, but it's like in a position of like you cannot unlock them.
Ah.
I had broken ribs at one point because sometimes when it's very severe, it can break
a
some ribs
spasm
as
so
well.
hard
Yeah.
that it can break a rib?
Oh my goodness.
Jesus, huh?
I can't even imagine what she goes through every day. Like not knowing when her body's going to seize up like that.
No, and this is like you're listening to somebody
man.
who can afford the absolute best medical attention
Yes.
globally, and the thing that she's dealing with will randomly spasm and break a rib.
Yeah.
Like that is
That's so scary.
crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Bad Boys crushed the box office this weekend.
Hey, yes.
$56 million in the U.S. and $104.6 million around the world. But they're saying that movies are still going to have to do way better than this to save the summer box office because there's not a lot coming out so far. But Will Smith, is this the sort of return of Will Smith, or is Bad Boys just so nostalgic that it got people to theaters? Don't know. It's kind of a question mark. But anyway, people did go and see it.
Yeah.
There's another movie out, and it's called Hitman. It's the new Richard Linklater movie with Glenn Powell. And it's a Netflix movie, and it's like Netflix all over the world, but not in Canada, which doesn't happen anymore. But it's because some distribution company bought the rights to the movie for theaters in Canada. And so in Canada, the movie's in theaters and not on Netflix.
Oh,
but
for how
everywhere
long?
else, who knows?
Oh.
But everywhere else, it's on Netflix, and it looks really great. And
But if you have like a... I heard of this thing
yeah, no,
that somebody...
no,
What are the three letters?
I've not. I haven't heard.
MVPV,
Oh yeah,
NV
something like that. Yeah,
Is it a
yeah.
VPN or something like that?
Yeah,
Like
I
you
think
can,
it's.
like,
I think it's something along
something
those
that you
lines.
could, like,
yeah.
rewrote like your internet.
Yeah.
I don't know how it
don't-
works.
No, me
but
neither. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't like. Do you have to call somebody to say,
I don't
"Hey, I'm
know.
using"? No, you don't. Eh?
I don't know.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
But Glenn Powell doing a ton of press for Hitman, and if you get a chance, watch the trailer because it looks really, really, really good. But he tells this story because I guess the movie's all about murder and whatever else. But he tells this story of a good friend of his sister, and I don't want to blow it, so just listen to Glenn tell this story.
Cool. You want to hear a crazy story? Yes, please. My little sister was friends with a girl who went on a date with a guy. The guy's super charming, and they have a great night, and she goes back to his apartment that night, and he's like, "Hey, can I give you a massage?" And then as she got back to his apartment, she just started getting like weird vibes. She's like, something feels off. And he's like, "Can I give you a massage?" And she's like, "Sure." So she starts massaging her shoulders. She's kind of just feeling like everything's just feeling odd, and she's like, "I got to get out of here." And he gets a little weird, like, "No, please don't leave. Sorry, like I'm weird, whatever it is." She leaves. She goes, her skin starts itching like crazy the next day. She goes to the doctor the next day, and he does a test on her skin, and it turns out that it's like a black market lotion that breaks down skin for human consumption.
Oh my God!
This man was rubbing lotion on her body to eat her. So the doctor's like, "You got to give me this person's address, and you should call the police." They go to this guy's house, and he had several girls' bodies in the house.
Oh my God!
This is your sister? No, not my sister. It's like her friend.
Holy!
Oh my God!
What?
Can you believe that? What? Like
a cannibal?
I guess. Yeah. Yeah. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Right? That's nuts. That's a crazy story.
Wow. So it never worked out.
For who?
I'm just kidding.
For who?
They never made a love connection.
No. Also, when you go to a guy's house and it's a first date, and he says like his move is, "Can I give you a massage?" Leave. Right? Leave. That's the Harvey Weinstein move. That is the cannibal move.
Yeah.
That is the damn it Maury move.
You remember that story Maury told us? When the guy,
That's my move.
The guy from Best Buy, from Geek Squad came over.
Oh my God.
To fix Maury's computer, and Maury was like, "Yo, you look super tense. Can I give you a massage?" Yo, to the Geek Squad guy. How long was he there? Like maybe 30 minutes trying to fix your damn computer?
Just when you're at a guy's house.
Like you hear Glenn Powell telling the story, and you're thinking to yourself, like that individual that he's talking about there's something not right with this guy.
No, but that's the move.
It's the exact same story.
All the creepers. That is all the creepers.
No, but this is the exact same thing with Maury. Can I give you a massage?
Yes.
Okay, but I don't use lotion.
Okay, I'm going to repeat. All the creepers.
Yeah.
All the creepers.
I think it's even more psychopathic.
Can I give you a dry massage?
So weird.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So the big story over the weekend in sport was that Caitlin Clark was not invited to be part of Team USA's women's basketball Olympic team, which a lot of people had a hard time even understanding why you would put a team together to leave the country to go and compete on the world stage when you're trying to sell the game and everything else and not put Caitlin Clark on it. Mm-hmm. But whatever, they tend to go with veterans in moves like this. But here is Caitlin Clark talking about when she got the call that she was not going to be on Team USA.
I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold. I was a kid that grew up watching the Olympics, so it'll be fun to watch them. Honestly, no disappointment. Like I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there.
She will.
Caitlin's Fever head coach, Christy Sides, commented on Caitlin not getting on the team.
We talked actually on the bus. She got the call on the bus, and she texted me to let me know. And, I just tried to keep her spirits. I mean, the thing she said was, "Hey, Coach, they woke a monster," which I thought was awesome.
They
Now,
woke a monster.
if you remember back in 2006 was Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby's rookie years. Right? And they were both having monster rookie years. And at that time, Gretzky was still in charge of Team Canada. And it was Sidney Crosby's rookie year, and they put the Olympic team together. And they didn't put Sidney Crosby on the Olympic team because they said he's young, he's a rookie, he's going to have lots of time to do this. So they went with veterans. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen because women's basketball, it's just gold.
7
right?
straight.
7 straight. I'm not saying, but that year when they made the decision to not put the hot rookie on the team, Team Canada in the 2006 Olympics, gold Sweden, silver Finland, bronze Czech Republic.
Ooh.
They didn't even medal that year. Damn. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, right? But
yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but I'm just saying that, like, especially hockey and like women's basketball, like those you sell. And when you have these global superstars,
you got to capitalize.
You capitalize on it. You capitalize on it.
I think it would have been a bigger story had she been invited and not played. Because on this team, she would have likely not played.
But I think that that's fine. I honestly think that that's fine. I think
She's the name.
I think that if you say because she is a rookie, everything else, I think that that's understandable. But to just say we're not going to put her on because she's not going to play much, that's a terrible. It's her there is what you need, right? Like that's what you hope to sort of capitalize on. I watched another interview with one of these, with a woman on one of these other teams, and they got to do some media training for some of these athletes on the WNBA.
Why?
They
What'd she
really
say?
do. Well, because like it's just a
Is she
disaster.
against
This press,
Caitlyn?
no, it had nothing to do with Caitlyn. It was a reporter just asking a question about like the score and the rest of the team, and it's just messy. Like it's some of these clips are really like now that all the eyes are on the WNBA, there's some real messiness going on in the WNBA. Like it's really fun to watch. But again, I think that one of the things, the unfortunate thing is that everybody's paying so much attention to the WNBA, and how much of that attention is actually on the product though. That's the problem. It's all the noise. It's all the garbage. It's all the everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
And they're just doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. They got a superstar and they're doing everything wrong. It's crazy to me that they would do this.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Okay, explain to me, and you have the clip over there. I don't know what this is. Did Nick Cannon insure his balls for $10 million?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Hold on.
Because
Sorry, what?
people have done this before, right? Like his ex-wife, like Mariah's voice is insured. Right?
People have insured their legs.
People, Mary Hart famously, didn't she insure her legs on
As did
Entertainment
Tina
Tonight?
Turner, yeah.
And Tina Turner with them gams, right?
How old are you?
What do you mean? You don't say gams anymore?
Not since 1930.
Shut up. Hold on here.
When was the word gams
What are
invented?
those? Never mind.
When was gams popular for
How old
legs?
do you have to be to say gams?
Okay, hold on here. I don't even know how to look up this stuff. Nobody says gams, though, honestly.
You don't know how to look it up.
What about stems? Nobody says stems anymore?
Yeah.
No?
Stems?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No? Nobody says that? Gams?
No,
Stems?
I can't even Google it. It doesn't come up on Google.
Oh, okay, never mind that.
That's
Anyway.
how old it is. If the internet doesn't have the history of something, you know that it's just old, bro.
I gotta find this whole
No, we're talking about the internet that has the history of everything.
Okay. Gams. Oh, 31, 19, 20 slang words.
See?
Okay. Anyway, do you want to listen to Nick Cannon talking about insuring his nuts? Because they're like, you know, they're the baby making machine, right? Okay, here's Nick.
Now that Dr. Squatch has insured my balls for $10 million, I've officially got the most valuable balls in the world.
Nick Cannon's golden balls are single-handedly keeping the human population afloat. He's fathered 12 children that he knows of and shows no signs of stopping.
Smooth game gets you nowhere without smooth balls to match. For that, I trust Dr. Squatch. Put your balls in our hands.
What is Dr. Squatch? What is Dr. Squatch?
It's made up. Isn't it made up?
What is that?
Oh, it sounds like an endorsement deal that he's got.
Yeah, like it's some sort of trimmer or something like that. Like what's that, Manscaped? They really carved out a piece for themselves, huh?
I love their
that world.
products.
Oh, dog, it's a beauty line product. They have soaps. They have deodorant.
Yeah, yeah.
And also
These nuts.
What's that deodorant that you use, Shem?
Lume. Body deodorant, baby.
Body deodorant.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Great.
And they don't mean like armpits. You know?
No.
These nuts. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Let me tell you how broken this city is. This dumbass city that we live in.
Okay, go.
So, you know all this nonsense going on with the Gardner, right?
Yeah.
So I was down there yesterday, and it was like rush hour, but it was like, I don't know, like 6:15 or something like that. So first of all, I drove through, because you know they're doing all the work, and they keep saying you won't see the work being done because we're doing all the work under the Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually drove through the back end of the exhibition grounds where you could see all the work being done, right?
Yeah.
This was earlier in the day when first time I had to go out there.
Okay.
So I go out there, and you know how they're talking, oh, yeah, we're going to be running crews. We're running crews, guys.
Yeah,
we got
24
crews
hours.
on crews, 24 hours.
They said 24 hours. As of Olivia Chow said, as of yesterday, 24-hour construction on the Gardner.
Okay.
Tell me what you saw.
This was
Talk to him.
11:30 a.m.
Uh-huh.
You know what I saw at 11:30 a.m.?
So much work going on?
One guy with a broom. Now, anyone who has ever worked in a factory, maintenance, or construction, you know that if it's 11:30 a.m. and you have a broom where it's not end of day cleanup, it's 11:30 a.m., that's busy work.
You don't know a damn thing?
Busy work. One guy.
What are they waiting for?
One guy. He was brooming.
Above
he was
or-
sweeping.
But you didn't see the workers underneath.
I'm underneath, Maury, is what I'm saying.
He's sweeping underneath.
I drove by where the work is being done.
Maybe it was lunchtime.
No.
For all of them?
No.
Bro, when you say we have 24-hour construction, they got to be on a rotation.
And
When
can I
someone
eat?
takes a break, you sub someone in.
And can I tell you what he was sweeping?
What? Tell me.
Just like a dirt path.
To clear the way for
like
the
there
workers
was
to come
nothing.
through.
There was nothing. He was just sweeping.
Was it to clear the way for the workers to come
You
through?
know it's busy work when a guy with a broom does 2 on this side, 2 on this side, right? So then later on in the day, 6:30, right? I'm locked in this godforsaken neighborhood. Okay. So you can't take the Gardner. You can't go through Liberty Village. You can't do anything, right? You can't go take King because they ripped up King.
Yeah.
So embarrassing.
I had to drive the distance of where that construction is going, not on the Gardner, but I had to go through the city.
Okay.
So I had to go the distance of like Dufferin to Strawn, and then Strawn, say, back to Dufferin, right? So it's 1.5 kilometers from Dufferin to Strawn, and then 1.5 kilometers back from Strawn to Dufferin.
Oh, quick drive.
Right?
Easy.
55 minutes to do 3 kilometers. 55 minutes to do a 3-kilometer round trip.
Come on, Shamroy.
Hey, Shamroy,
How are you not screaming?
55 minutes to do 3 kilometers round trip.
But guess what, Roz? We got 24-hour construction on the
24
Gardner.
hours,
We
baby.
got crews working around the clock.
Let me tell you something.
We're going to get this city back moving.
I was there yesterday. You do not. You had one guy with a broom yesterday,
Yeah.
and
Does
it
that
wasn't
count,
even.
though?
It wasn't even raining.
Damn.
Anyway,
Roz is upset.
What's he saying there?
Huh?
What's he saying? That's how I feel. Who is that?
It's Kendrick.
Kendrick. Me and Kendrick.
You don't want to know the end of that.
I need to. Do you think he'd ride shotgun with me and just like because I need him to drive by the construction site and just yell that out the window?
They might duck.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Edmonton Oilers losing game 2 last night in Florida.
Oh, yeah!
Panthers scored 3 in the third, 2 by Evan Rodriguez, and take a 2-0 series lead in the Stanley Cup Final.
Yes, go Panthers.
And after the game, with their backs against the wall, the press caught up with an absolutely fired up Connor McDavid.
We got to work our way out of it. It always starts with work with our group. They're a unique penalty kill, just like they're a unique team. They're aggressive.
We got to have guys ready for the puck. We got to have guys making good plays. You got to string good plays together, and we haven't been able to do that. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be difficult.
What else?
And I'm excited to see what our group's made of. I'm excited to see our group come together. I'm excited to see us fight through adversity, and looking forward to people doubting us again. You know, we're
gonna lose.
You know, we're good with their backs against the wall.
So embarrassing.
Come on, Kendrick. Me and you, buddy. I think we'd be best friends, me and Kendrick.
I think so.
Yeah. I think so. I think we got a lot in common.
I really do believe that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we'd get along great. I really do. I feel it in my bones, down in my waters.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play you this clip real quick. So Rihanna was out at a Fenty hair product launch, right? And you know she's been trolling fans. So she showed up in New York the other day with an "I'm retired" T-shirt on, because everybody's waiting on Rihanna's new album that's just never going to show up.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess the process to get Fenty hair off the ground and out to the public was an exceptional one that she saw all the way to the end, and it looks like it's going to be very successful for her. But listen to what she said to the crowd, dude.
Oh, no.
This is probably the longest I've ever taken to create something. No, I lied. That's R9.
Oh my God. Dagger to the heart. Dagger to the heart.
Such a troll.
She basically said,
Yes,
to all of us.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Well, according to Entertainment Weekly, and despite all the rumors, they say that they can exclusively report that Taylor Swift is not in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Even though
Did they say if she was even considered?
No,
was there any talks?
literally it's a headline and then a bunch of nonsense in the rest of the article. There's been months of speculation, and also remember we ran that interview with the director not that long ago. Was it Sean Levy? Levy, where he really, because I remember we were talking, saying at this point, knowing that you're dealing with Taylor Swift, that if she's not in the movie, you have to just come out and say it, because he wasn't making it super vague and that maybe she was, and it really did sound like she was going to be in the movie, right?
Yeah.
But I guess she's not. So I don't know. I guess she was supposed to play, or people thought she was going to play Dazzler.
Or Entertainment Weekly's wrong.
I mean, that could also be the case. But I mean, they seem pretty confident about it. It's the big splashy headline. I think maybe what's happened is people have on the inside have started screening it, right? But that doesn't mean she's not in an end scene that they didn't include in the screen. Who knows? I don't even know. But yeah, too bad. Ryan Reynolds was in the audience of The View yesterday.
Wait, what?
Ryan Reynolds was in the audience of The View yesterday. Here's what happened when Whoopi noticed him sitting there.
Oh, snap. There's Ryan Reynolds. So how come?
Well, okay. By the way, this is way less stressful than up there. My mom is here visiting her grandkids, and yesterday she said it's my dream to go to The View. First off, I try to do what she says because you don't know what she's capable of. Just unspeakable violence. So I didn't want to taste the back of her hand. So I said, let's go to The View. So we made a call. I told them I'm Blake's husband. I'd love to come to The View. Actually, yes.
He's very difficult to talk to, Ryan Reynolds. Love the guy, but everything is shtick.
Character.
Right? Everything is a joke.
He's a character of Ryan Reynolds.
Everything is just it's not a real conversation. That conversation they had, right? And I get it. You bring Ryan Reynolds on the show and you just let him go and be Ryan Reynolds, and that's why he's there and everything else. But it's so difficult to have a conversation. Even when you interview Ryan Reynolds, it's really difficult because that's all he does.
But
and
it's enjoyable.
And you don't know. It's not. It's awkward because you don't know when to stop, right? You don't know.
Or when he's going to stop.
When he's going to stop, and then he's doing a bit, and it's tough. It's not easy to talk to people like that when they're just so into their own character.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Billie Eilish was there's a couple Billie Eilish stories. One, she was saying how she lost all her friends when she got famous because you just can't relate to fame and she couldn't relate to civilians anymore.
Is that what happened to you?
Tell me about it. And I welcomed it with open arms. You know what I was thinking the other day? Okay,
What?
so you know how my two friends, Frank and Carl.
Okay, yeah.
Allegedly.
No, they exist. They
Sure
exist.
they do.
They do. They do. So there's only the three of us. Okay, right?
How convenient. And
Okay.
we've never seen Roz with.
No. So there's
and
only,
there's no. Oh, also,
Yeah.
point out the fact that there's zero picture evidence
yes,
of
I know.
Roz, Carl, and Frank.
Okay. So you know what I realized the other day though? Okay, we've been friends. I'm gonna say since me and Frank like
Like when did you make up the story?
2004.
Okay.
And then me and Carl like 2006, like a long time, like 20 plus years, right? For this. So we've been friends that long. And it's just it's really in my world, it's just the three of us. You know what I realized on the weekend?
What?
We don't even have a group chat.
How is that possible?
I believe. It's believable.
I was emailing both of them, being like, "Hey," I was emailing Carl and being like, "Hey, you talked to Frank, right?" And then I was emailing Frank, and I'm filling in on what like Carl was doing.
Email?
No, in text. In text, but we
So
don't have a group chat.
So you email Carl and then you text Frank to be like, "Here's what I emailed Carl."
Yes.
And how come the three of you don't have a?
It's never happened.
Why
We've
didn't you
never.
start
I
it?
don't know. We've
Bro.
never had a group chat.
Because they do not exist.
Yes.
That's why. It would be a one-way conversation.
Anyway, here's Billie Eilish on a BBC podcast called Miss Me, hosted by Lily Allen. I guess it's like a supernatural themed show where they talk about ghosts. But Billie Eilish was actually talking about being ghosted.
I've been ghosted for sure. I had a crazy ghosting happen actually in December. Shut the f***. It was insane. It was the craziest one. It's probably the craziest one that's ever happened to me. It was so, I was like, did you die? Did you literally die? It was like somebody that I'd also known for years and had a plan. Day of, on the phone, making a plan. This is my address. Be there at 3. Never heard from him again, ever.
No.
Never heard from him. It was literally, it was I couldn't believe it. I was like, what a little pathetic man.
Oh no.
What a tiny little man. Like also, and then it was like,
I'm in shock.
no,
I can't believe this.
Literally unbelievable. To this day, never texted me again. Somebody I had known for like
crazy?
years.
I want to know why. Do
They
you
had a
think
plan that day?
this person? I'm not saying this is the case, right?
Yeah.
But this person like ended up getting maybe was single, knowing Billie Eilish, then got into a relationship, and that the other person was like maybe jealous that he knew Billie Eilish and thought like maybe there was like an insecurity or something like that.
If I had plans to meet somebody at 3 that day, and then we were texting, being like, "Hey, here's my address. See you then," and then I would immediately start just doing inventory. Like the first thing I would do is check my banking. Because it sounds like that's like somebody who stole something from you. Like when you make a plan and then you never see them again, thief, right? Like something's up. Like something's up with that. But that's a crazy ghosting. Day of and never hear from them again?
Like your conversations with Carl.
Shut up.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, Cheryl Hickey's on Breakfast Television right now.
Did you see the
When you sort of have that announcement, but it hasn't been announced yet, and now it has. And I mean, we could not be happier
Cheryl
for
and
you.
Tracy are
the
doing a new
reaction in
show.
the room, the reaction
yeah?
already on social
Yeah.
media.
It's an extra hour
Cheryl
BT,
Hickey, you
right?
are
Love that.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
a
Yeah.
pillar in this country for joy and entertainment and integrity.
Yeah.
And for you to be joining this incredible woman here, I as a viewer, I'm excited.
Well, I mean, for years, Tracy has been laying the groundwork, and I'm so excited to be joining her and all the viewers that have been watching you for years.
And watching you for
and
years.
watching
'cause
me.
all of you just come on
Oh, this is
by.
great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
All
to
of
bring
them.
us all together to create this
Yeah, I'm
beautiful
excited for both
energy
of them.
and to do this show.
Oh, we'll get her on
for
the show.
everyone at
Both of
home
them, Tracy and
is gonna be a real
Cheryl
gift.
Hickey.
It's gonna be amazing.
So that's good news, huh?
Yeah. BT with Tracy and Cheryl, September 9th, 10 a.m.
A lot went on yesterday, too. Rogers, the company that owns this station and city, there was this whole thing where they bought up a bunch of the, I guess, licenses for a lot of the HGTV brands from Warner Brothers and some NBC Universal stuff like Bravo. But it's very complicated because the HGTV channel, the way that I understand it, is still owned by Chorus, but they can't call it that anymore. So they, I guess, would have to keep the channel, call it something else, and then Rogers has to launch their own, I guess, HGTV channel. But then they don't have a lot of the properties like the Canadian shows because they're all contracted there. Like, it's a whole thing. But HGTV, there's big changes coming to HGTV because I know people love it.
All I heard
know
from
people
you
love it.
is that Rogers paid a buttload of money for all this stuff.
A lot of money.
What I'm saying is, if they got money,
I know.
You know, Roz Mocha show out here, we're coming up on 15 years,
I know.
guys.
Yeah, 15.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do they call that in the streets?
Pay up.
Yeah, what he said. I can't do that. You know me. I don't like confrontation. I'll let you deal with that.
You get so scared.
Yeah, I'll let you deal with that.
We'll go up straight to the 10th floor. Yo, Tony, where you at, dog?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Apple are launching a new AI feature on their phones, and it's the features will allow users across all their sort of platforms in the new software updates to use both the native Apple intelligence and their partnership to incorporate ChatGPT directly into the devices. I don't know. I guess it's a security issue because Elon Musk had said that if they do actually integrate with OpenAI tech and put it on iPhones, that he would ban iPhones from employees on a corporate level at Tesla. Because
this is crazy.
Because of
I
these
watched some of that
security
stuff
risks,
yesterday.
I guess. I don't know. But something else that's a huge risk in this big Apple event that came out yesterday is people feel that Apple just made it a whole lot easier for people to cheat. So one of the features in the new iOS 18 update, so users will now be allowed to lock and hide apps on their phone screens. So Apple shared this feature, and it's meant to help people keep things like their banking app private, Amazon, so their kids don't grab the phone and order a bunch of nonsense off the internet.
Then do it for certain apps. Don't do it for all apps.
It's any app you want.
I know.
Right? So they said when an app is locked or hidden, content like messages or emails inside the app is hidden from search, notification, and all other places across the system.
That's nuts.
So they think that the solo
Did you
clap,
see
there's nothing more.
Do you see the other feature that you can now record phone calls? It will say, hey, like, let's all parties know this conversation is being recorded.
Right.
But you can record a phone call, and then it will, at the end, transcribe all that text.
I'm never calling Maury again.
Facts.
Have you ever, though?
No. Sorry, I'm never answering Maury's phone again. I'm never answering Maury's call again.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Apparently, Gen Z and millennials are ditching the dating apps. So younger generations are swapping out like Bumble and Tinder and Hinge and Grindr for actual live events as they sort of deal with the fatigue of online dating. So a new report from an event management company found a rise in speed dating and singles event searches last year, with more than 1.5 million searches for these kinds of events. The report found attendance to singles and dating events has increased 42% from 2022 to 2023. The report also surveyed 1,000 people, and they found that more than 50% of online daters have a hard time starting or continuing meaningful conversations online. And then, of course, the number one thing is security and safety that they have when it comes to online dating. So people are going back to speed dating.
Do you know, years ago, I actually went to a speed dating thing.
It's not surprising.
Where you all...
What other things did you do years ago? So you said speed dating. What else?
Oh, many things.
Yeah.
Like what?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
You want to start talking?
bell,
You want to start talking about the things that you did, or no?
No, but you were talking about speed dating, so I'm
No, but
trying
then he also just followed. Who cares? Whatever.
It's called a pivot.
Yeah, but I don't like
Yeah,
your pivot
we
this
all
time.
know what speed dating
Yeah,
is, and we
we
know
don't
how
have
it
to
worked
explain
out
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Right?
But
it
maybe,
didn't.
But maybe you did other stuff that might enlighten younger generations. Like maybe you found other ways of like getting together with people. Some people you don't even know.
This
right?
is true. Yeah. Many. Yeah.
Yeah. Many. Oh! Well, also lies.
Time just opened up on the show.
Lies.
No,
that's
it did
fine.
not.
Yeah, right.
Look at the time.
One time.
Many.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Kevin Spacey was on with Piers Morgan yesterday. I don't know if you saw this interview. Crazy. So he starts to cry and stuff, talking about how broke he is. But Kevin Spacey's a weird one because it sort of still looks like he's playing a character. Because remember when all this was coming out where he was being inappropriate sexually with people on movie sets and he was getting all these charges laid against him? He did like a couple of really weird videos where he was in character as the guy from House of Cards. Like, do you remember that?
Always around Christmas, right?
Frank Underwood. Frank Underwood. Like, he's super weird about the whole thing. So he's on Kevin Spacey. He's on Piers Morgan. Kevin Spacey's a great actor. So when you watch this, I still think like a part of it is kind of bull. But anyway, here is Kevin Spacey talking about how broke he is.
Where do you live now?
Crying.
Well, it's funny you asked that question because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction. Really? So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage. Really? So the answer to that question is I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore for since we started shooting House of Cards there.
So how long is that?
I moved there in 2012.
So this has been your home for 12 years?
Well, not this particular place, but this place has been my home and Evan and Lucy's home since 2016.
Why is it being foreclosed?
Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Are you facing bankruptcy?
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of
I don't know. Doesn't sound genuine.
dodge it.
Listen. It's like it's so
at least as of today.
How much money do you have?
Like the pausing and what he's saying.
None.
Yeah, like just even like he's such a good actor, right?
So good, but it's so creepy.
It's so creepy. You want listen to this. So this is when they get into talking about the accusations of him molesting people and being aggressive sexually towards people that he worked with. Listen to Kevin Spacey.
What's your idea of bad behavior when you look back at what you were doing?
Pushing the boundaries.
In what way? I mean,
being too handsy, touching someone sexually,
groping people
in a way that I didn't know at the time they didn't want. Yeah.
Some people would say that is criminal. That if you grope people in a sexual way against their wishes, that is a crime.
I agree that the word grope is a very odd word. I personally,
jeez, man.
I have caressed people. I have been gentle with people. That is the way that I am. You're making a pass at someone. You don't want to be aggressive. You want to be gentle. You want to see if they're going to respond positively.
What?
So I think the word itself is not a word that I associate with my experience.
But would you say all of that was consensual, or was it an attempt at seduction that, if it was repelled, by definition becomes, I guess, non-consensual? That if you're being handsy, if you're groping people, and they don't want to do it,
then they should let you know they don't want to do it, so that you can understand it's non-consensual and stop.
Oh my God, Kevin Spacey!
Can you believe this?
Son of a bitch!
Wow.
Can you believe this? In what planet is the word handsy?
There are so many things wrong with that.
Does he have a publicist?
And when they got around to talking about how much he owed in legal fees, he said it was in the millions in legal fees. So
I believe
that
it.
is Kevin Spacey. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish with this interview.
I think he just undid
everything.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Joey Chestnut, the greatest eater of all time, has been banned from Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest this year.
No glizzy for him?
No glizzy for him, because I guess what happened is Major League Eating and Nathan's hot dogs didn't approve of the fact that Joey Chestnut became a brand ambassador for a vegan hot dog brand.
Oh.
And so I guess you're not allowed to have these side deals when you're
of
in
interest.
that competition. I guess I don't know.
Oh, really?
But Major League Eating said that this would be like if Michael Jordan said to Nike, "I'm going to represent Adidas." Like it's so. Anyway,
Yeah, but he still played in the NBA. Like you could still play in the league
Yes.
if you ditch one brand
but
and go to a next one.
The whole league is sponsored by Nathan's.
Yes. So anyway, so Joey Chestnut says it's very disappointed to learn in the media today that after nearly 20 years, I am banned from the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. I love competing in that event. I love celebrating America with my fans all over this great country and on the 4th. And I have been training to defend my title. He says, stay tuned and stay hungry because he still thinks that there's a way that he can be a part of the competition.
Let the man enjoy the glizzy.
Right? Also, how much are they paying him to represent vegan hot dogs? Like, what's that check like?
It has to be a lot.
A lot, right? A lot.
To take you away from Nathan's, a delicious Nathan's.
Yeah, but he was not sponsored, right? Like, he's not sponsored by MLE or
No,
Nathan's.
let the man get the bag then.
I
Who
get
cares?
that's what I thought too.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Anyway, 50 Cent, a lot of these mashups have come out, these AI mashups where they take like one artist from one genre and then they sort of mash it up to another genre. We've had some great ones in the past, right? Great ones in the past. So the new one is 50 Cent and Conway Twitty. And this is what that sounds like.
You can find me in the club, a bottle full of bub. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you're into getting rough. Go shoddy, it's your birthday, we're gonna party like it's your birthday.
So
when I pull out out front, you see the bands on the dubs. When I roll 20 deep, it's 20 nights in the club. My flow, my show brought me the dough that bought all my fancy things. My crib, my cars, my clothes, my jewels, and tight-fitting jeans.
So
Fire
50
right there.
actually posted this on his socials, co-signing it. He said, my country album is on the way. Beyonce ain't got ish on me. And then everybody is either right now trying to decide if it's Conway Fitty or Twitty Cent.
Oh, Twitty Cent, for sure.
I like Twitty Cent.
You like Twitty Cent?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Absolutely.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Madonna's legal team has gone on the offensive as they call the delayed concert lawsuits a harassment campaign. So last week, Madonna filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit. These are the lawsuits that are based around two concerts in New York where concert goers saw 8:30 p.m. on the ticket and were pissed because Madonna didn't hit the stage until 10:30. And they're suing because they couldn't get home and childcare and they were later than they thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
In Madonna's documents, they claim that real fans would know that Madonna often runs past the allotted time, saying if a fan is familiar enough with Madonna's concert history to know her performances run 2 hours and 15 minutes, that fan would surely know that Madonna typically takes the stage well after the ticketed event time and plays till late in the night. The lawyer who represents both Madonna and Live Nation have rejected the claim of settlement brought on by the people who sued Madonna. According to TMZ, the plaintiffs have now until July to respond to Madonna's motion to dismiss the entire case. So
Not wrong. Fans do know.
That's rude, though.
I know, but there's a certain expectation of somebody when you go to a concert that you assume that it's going to be over by like 11, right?
Yes.
Especially like when the ticket says 8:30, you think, okay, opening band, some sort of thing, right? 8:30, DJ, whatever. We're going to be out of there by 11:15, the latest, right? I think that that's what people assume. I don't think that when the ticket says, 8:30, that the headliner is going to go on at 10:30
But what,
and
like,
play for 2.5 hours.
What amount of money are they expecting? Like to cover their Uber and the babysitter?
No, they want a lot because they're calling it fraud.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Screw you, Madonna. How dare you?
But these people had a good time.
Did they, though?
Well, they were there.
Doesn't sound like they had a good time.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The Ontario government is now going to be allowing beer stores to sell lottery tickets and other stuff, too.
What other stuff?
I don't know. Other things, like anything they want, really. So they're going to be allowed to sell lottery tickets and other products. The only thing they're not allowed to sell is like cigarettes and weed and liquor. I guess you can't sell liquor at the beer store.
So maybe
But
like
they're-
snacks, like chips and stuff?
And I guess the LCBU said that it believes it can also sell lotto tickets. Ugh, those lines are going to be so long, like take forever now.
Is this to recoup a loss because soon we'll be able to buy booze at the corner store?
Well, that's exactly what they're doing, right? So they're allowing them to make more money in other ways. I guess I don't know, but what do you want to buy at the beer store?
Chips?
Like what would be helpful for you if
I'd
you
be
walked
like-
into the beer store?
If I walk into the beer store, I thought, oh, hey, you know
Yeah.
what? Bag of Miss Vicky's?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then just buy your beer at the corner store.
Okay.
Yeah, but so Miss Vicky's, right? That's what you're looking for.
Twizzlers?
Yeah. What about a hot food section? What about if they had like a
buffet?
Yeah,
Like when you
something
go to the
like
grocery
that.
store?
Yeah. What about if they had that, where they
Like
had some rotisserie chicken going?
Soup with
if
beer?
They had, if they had a pizza window.
Thank you. Yes.
That would be smart.
Now you're talking, Maria.
Soup. No,
Yo,
no.
you're so
Because when
basic,
Mocha
man.
said the
No,
grocery
it's-
store, I thought soup.
In July, who wants to go to the? Hey man, want to go for a beer and soup? Nobody's ever said that to anybody.
No.
Like
I don't
killers
think-
say that.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm with Maria on pizza, even like wings.
Yes.
Right? Even like a whole rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, man.
In that box.
Yeah, sure.
Gimme.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
down with
fries.
that. I'm down with that. Speaking of Lotto, yes, fries, Maury. I agree with you on that. Lotto 649 Gold Ball jackpot keeps growing. I guess it's the $64 million jackpot tonight. $64 million draw.
Okay.
Add in the $5 million classic jackpot plus the Lotto Max jackpot, all rolled in last night at $55 million with 4 Max Millions for Friday's draw. There is now $128 million in prizing for this
Ooh.
week alone.
Hold on.
Bye, everyone.
It's not bad. You buying right now?
Username, password.
Okay. You can do that when we're not on the radio, you know.
No, I can't. I'll forget.
All right, cool.
I am eligible and fit to play, yes.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Rihanna doing more interviews about this album. So she was trolling fans yesterday at the Fendi release, the hair care products release, where she was like, I've worked so hard on this, I've worked harder and longer on this than anything else. And she was like, well, except for R9, which is, I guess, her new album. But she did an interview with Entertainment Tonight on the red carpet where it's good news and bad news because it sounds like she's going to get back to music. That's the good news. The bad news is it really sounds like she's starting all over.
Oh,
music for me is a new like discovery. I'm rediscovering things.
Why?
I have been working on the album for so long that I kind of just like put all that stuff aside, and now I'm prepared to go back in the studio. So I'm prepared. So I'm gonna start. So don't
So we're starting
Give me a
over.
second.
We're starting over in a sense.
Yeah, starting over.
Oh,
But I don't want to neglect the songs that I have. So I want to actually go back and like listen to stuff with new ears, with my new perspective, and then see what applies and what I still am in love with.
No, keep the same ears, Rihanna.
Beautiful.
Them years of ears. Keep that stuff.
Years of ears.
Yep. Nope. Starting all over.
No.
I'll wait for you.
I want... We are never, ever getting a Rihanna album.
She's such a troll.
We are never getting it.
That's not true. She said we are getting it. We
She's
just be
been
patient.
saying for years that she's been working on music,
We
man.
just have to start over, man. I'm so excited. Aren't you excited?
Oh my God.
Come on. Good things come to those who wait.
Like, we'll get a Rihanna track maybe in like 2026.
You think so?
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's 2 years from now.
Not an album. I said a track. And then she's going to hit reset on the whole thing.
Yeah. That'll make it what? 10 years, right?
Uh-huh.
10 years.
You guys are such downers.
Bro, I'm not falling
So
for the
good.
same trick.
I am.
From Rihanna.
Whatever.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Uh-huh.
So, got to go back to this Glenn Powell clip. Glenn Powell quickly becoming like a bona fide movie star, this guy. He's taking a different route than a lot of other young actors did, and it's working for him. So he's got that new movie, Hitman, which apparently is really great. But he told a story the other day about a friend of his sister's who inadvertently hooked up with a cannibal. So let's go back and revisit Glenn Powell telling this story.
Cool. You want to hear a crazy story? Yes, please. My little sister was friends with a girl who went on a date with a guy. The guy's super charming, and they have a great night. And she goes back to his apartment that night, and he's like, "Hey, can I give you a massage?" And then as she got back to his apartment, she just started getting like weird vibes. She's like, something feels off. And he's like, "Can I give you a massage?" And she's like, "Sure." So she starts massaging her shoulders. She's kind of just feeling like everything's just feeling odd. And she's like, "I got to get out of here." And he gets a little weird, like, "No, please don't leave. Sorry." Like, I'm weird, whatever it is. She leaves. She goes, her skin starts itching like crazy the next day. She goes to the doctor the next day, and he does a test on her skin. And it turns out that it's like a black market lotion that breaks down skin for human consumption. This man was rubbing lotion on her body to eat her. So the doctor's like, "You got to give me this person's address, and you should call the police." They go to this guy's house, and he had several girls' bodies in the house.
This is your sister?
No, not my sister. It's like her friend.
Damn.
Anyway, never happened.
What?
So it's an urban legend.
Why did he tell her like it did?
So he goes on Twitter.
Like his urban legend?
No, after this story took off, he goes, "Props to my little sister's friend who told her this dating story. I've been telling this for years. I'm questioning my whole life now. False alarm, back rubs are back."
Oh, so it was a sister's friend that just,
I guess, told
made up
a
the
story. Right. She told a story, probably wasn't referring to herself, but she told the story to the sister. And over the years, this story became my sister's friend had this happen to her, as opposed to my sister's friend told her this story.
Got it.
And he's been telling this, I don't know how many times this guy told this story. That's an interesting story.
Every party.
Right? You would tell the story any opportunity you had.
Yeah. Go around the room, everyone tell you your worst dating story. I don't have one, but my sister's friend.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Gail King out here saying too much. Like, there's being a best friend, and then there's being a like too much of a best friend. So,
what do you mean?
Gail King, Oprah was supposed to be on with Gail King on CBS the other day, and then Oprah had to cancel because she got sick. She actually had to go to the hospital because she had a stomach flu. But here's Gail King explaining to the audience why Oprah wasn't there.
She had some kind of stomach flu where stuff was coming out of both ends. I won't get too graphic. But needless to say, she ended up in the hospital, dehydration, had an IV, so it was a very serious thing. So it had to be. I hope
she's okay. Yeah.
She will be okay.
Good,
she will be okay. I hope she's not mad at me for sharing that detail. But
Yo, I would be.
What?
Why would you say stuff coming out of both ends?
That's Oprah.
Yeah.
Right?
She doesn't do that.
No, she just gives away all her favorite things. Right? Don't say that.
That's too much.
That's my best friend.
Yes.
It's like, say that I'm cool with you saying I'm sick and we had to cancel.
Yes.
But don't say.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Right?
How long till Oprah texted her?
Stuff coming out of both ends. No,
I know,
man.
No. Like, she said that to you in private, man.
Yeah.
Like, and I know,
Look
like,
at,
you guys got a great relationship and all, but
Looking for sympathy or whatever.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
New York State is set to sign a landmark legislative bill that would prevent tech companies from using algorithms for social media feeds used by children and young teens. So the measure would require social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, to present posts to younger users in the order that they were issued only by accounts they follow. So basically eliminating the role of the algorithm that shapes your stream of content.
So old school Instagram.
Right? Yeah. Now, on the other hand, people who are opposed to this say that what this does is it opens the door for sort of the potential to see hateful things, because if account they follow post something that is hateful, normally in the algorithm, if it catches it, it would bury it. But if you're following this account, that will then be at the top of your feed, right? So the bill would also disallow social media apps from sending notifications to minors during the evening and early morning hours without parental consent. But again, all of this is literally just going to be a slider on the phone, right? All of these,
You want to turn this feature on?
Exactly,
Yes.
right? Like that's all just a slider. Like it's not. They're going to get around this in 2 seconds, right? Did you see that video that woman posted where she was showing her phone and it was, I don't know what it was. It was like a woman who did a video and maybe she was complaining about her husband. She had some sort of beef, right, with her husband.
Okay.
And she showed on her phone the comments, like how the comments started, the top comments.
Sure.
And all the top comments were sort of like being, oh my God, that guy's a dog, and like really, really being supportive of this woman, right? She sent that video to her husband, and the husband opened it. And the comments on his phone under that video were all from people being like, ditch her, you can do better, dude, everything else. So it's not just the content that is now catered to you as a user. It's the discussion around a video in the comments that's also catered to you as a user. So you will see a video, you and your wife can see a video and just immediately go to the comments and you will immediately get a different perception of that video based on the comments that show up first in your feed, because that might be different than the comments that show up in your wife's feed.
Wow. That's
right?
nuts.
And that changes a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I had no idea
Have you
that they
experimented?
did that.
Have you
I
tried?
didn't. I should, but I didn't. But that's how things are now. Like it's not even just the video that they think that you might want. Like if they know your demographics and they have enough information about you and maybe what you like and maybe if you've liked a comment,
comments that you've liked on other videos,
things that you've commented on, they build a profile based on that. And so it's not even that they want to keep you locked into the app with the video. They want to keep you locked into the app by showing you comments that they think you will enjoy.
Yeah.
As opposed,
Supports your train of thought.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? No idea, right? That's wild to me that they do that.
Still not getting off Instagram. Like I'm not deleting the app, guys.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh my God. What a disaster this city is. We were talking about this yesterday. You can't move. You can't afford anything.
What now?
Now, the TTC needs to perform critical track renewal on the Spadina streetcar line.
Bro, didn't they just do that?
So the renovations are happening between King and Queen's Quay, but that means that streetcars cannot run on Spadina between Bloor and Queen's Quay.
So what do people do?
They're going to be replaced by buses, but the buses can't drive in the streetcar designated lane. So now the buses are going to be in the general traffic, which because of the streetcar lanes, there's like parts of Spadina that are like one lane.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exactly like Bathurst.
So this is now going to start on June 23rd, and it's going to go on until December.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
That's a week and a half. When it
What
starts.
a
That
mess.
sucks,
What
dude.
a mess. This city is such a mess.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Miley Cyrus was doing that interview series with David Letterman. My next guest needs no introduction. Is it still called that? Is that what the show's still called?
Yes.
Talking
On
about
Netflix, right?
Yeah. Talking about her relationships with other famous people and whether she feels that those relationships are important and what it means to be famous and have super famous friends.
I am not very active, I would say, or very a part of my community of other like artists and entertainers and celebrities. It just doesn't feel like my people when I'm in that room. But there are certain artists and like Beyonce who I like us. We've known each other for a long time. When I was probably 15, I performed with Beyonce and all the girls, I was like sandwiched between Rihanna and the Queen Bee, and they're like fully grown up, gorgeous, like probably similar to my age now, towering over me, completely stunning. I'm like super small, have acne, have a braces on the back of my teeth, and I'm standing next to like Mariah Carey, who's dripping in diamonds, and Beyonce was so kind to me. And I've now, just from seeing her, I've created like a relationship, maybe a bit more in depth. We haven't ever had this conversation, so now maybe you and I might be more friends than I'm friends with Beyonce. But Beyonce and I have the kindness and the consistency is everything. So I'm a part of my community in that way, but it's all quality, not quantity. I'm not very active in that.
Did she just say, I don't have any famous friends except for Beyonce, Rihanna, and Mariah Carey?
Kind of a flex, but like I'll co-sign that, no problem.
I don't need famous friends. I don't feel comfortable in that world unless unless it's my good friend, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, and Rihanna.
You just named 3 queens right there. I only deal with royalty.
That is the best.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So yesterday it was announced that Joey Chestnut, one of the world's greatest eaters, was banned from the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating competition in New York. And that was a big deal for a lot of people.
Because he signed with
because
promoting another hot dog?
A vegan, he signed to be a spokesperson for like a vegan hot dog brand. And I guess Major League Eating and Nathan's don't let you build side deals, even though he doesn't have a contract with either of them. He just shows up, but he got banned from the event. So it was announced yesterday that on Netflix, live on Netflix on Labor Day weekend, they're calling this Unfinished Beef, which is going to be a winner-take-all event where it's Joey Chestnut versus Takuru Kobayashi, who was his main rival years ago, who got out of the game.
Yeah, he retired because he said he can't taste nothing anymore.
So the last time they competed against each other was in 2009, and Joey Chestnut won. At that time, Joey Chestnut ate 68 hot dogs in 10 minutes, and Kobayashi ate 64 and a half. And Kobayashi hasn't done the Nathan's competition since 2010 because he refused to sign the exclusive contract. So now Netflix is bringing it all together for Labor Day weekend.
Good for them.
2 champions of the professional competitive eating world.
What's it called again?
It's called Chestnut versus Kobayashi Unfinished Beef.
Oh, yeah.
Netflix is just killing it with these live events, huh? They're picking great things.
When is Netflix going to approach the Roz and Mocha Show to stream a Mocha versus Shem?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Dang. You get destroyed in front of the whole country again, Shem.
Yes.
Again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see you guys like tightrope walk.
What? Bust up our ass, man.
No, like not high off the ground.
Oh, yeah. Can we practice?
Yeah, maybe 4 feet. Maybe 4 feet.
Would you, Shem?
4 feet?
To see who could walk the farthest.
Well, that's your height, so it's farther for you.
Oh, forget I said that. Let's move.
Come on, Shem.
What's that guy's name? My best friend?
It's Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
How you going on me like that? Oh, you want the smoke now, huh? Yeah. You want a tightrope walk? That doesn't sound...
Yo.
It doesn't sound gangster at all.
It doesn't.
Like the guys the guys I deal with in the streets, they'll never respect me again.
No, because
fellas.
if it's running, it's about speed. Bowling, it's like power, and you're hitting things. Like, what are you gonna trash talk before your balance is off?
Yeah.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, okay, X that idea. We'll come back with the next one.
You guys both have those long poles, and the tips touch. You know what I mean?
Wait, what?
It throws you off balance.
So embarrassing.
You know what I mean? When the long pole that you hold.
Well, why would they touch?
Because you'd be side by side. So the tips would touch.
We wouldn't do
ends.
it separately?
Why would you do it separately if it's a race?
Oh, it's a race?
It's a race.
You didn't say that.
No, it's a tightrope race.
Wait,
you fall off, you got to go back to the beginning. It's the first guy to the end.
Wait, what's touching?
The tips. Your tips.
These nuts.
No. Why would you play that?
Wait, what?
I'm legitimately trying to talk about the mechanics of tightrope walking.
Wrong button. Anyway.
What did you want to play?
You don't know a damn thing?
Oh,
Clearly
okay.
not.
All right.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tom Brady was inducted into not the NFL or Pro Football or whatever it was, Hall of Fame. This was the New England Patriots Hall of Fame.
His ex-team.
Brady coming back. Fans loved him. They filled that stadium.
Bro, it looked like a football game.
Yeah, like they filled that place, man.
What are you
That's
gonna do? He's
crazy.
the GOAT.
Here's a tiny little bit of Tom Brady.
I am Tom Brady, and I am a Patriot.
Oh, that's what the fans love to hear right there, huh?
And it was like a full day celebration before getting to the ceremony.
Jay-Z played.
Yeah.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
Oh.
Face to the OG.
Come on now.
I used to move snowflakes by the OZ. I guess even back then you could call me CEO of the ROC.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah, all the celebs showed up.
And Patriots owner Robert Kraft talking about how nobody will ever wear number 12 again.
There is only one iconic number that will always represent Tom Brady. And tonight, I promise that it will never be worn again. As the number 12 is now officially retired.
And then the cameras cut to Tom Brady, who immediately his eyes start to fill with water.
Yeah.
Special moment right there.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Apparently participation in youth hockey in this country is dropping like crazy, which is really concerning for the future of the game anyway. The latest numbers from Hockey Canada show that more than 430,000 are currently enrolled in hockey programs across the country, but that is a 25% drop over the last 10 years.
Oh, across the country?
Across the country.
40,000.
What's that? 430,000 are enrolled across the country. But that is a 25% drop over 10 years. They say soccer, swimming, and basketball are now the top choices for kids under 18. One of the main reasons why parents choose to not put their kids in hockey, it's not for lack of interest in hockey. It's that the financial requirements and commitments to hockey are far greater than something like basketball or soccer. Right?
Yeah. Our kid is in hockey. He just started. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's kind of showing interest in wanting to be a goalie.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to deter that.
Oh, why? You can make money in beer league being a goalie. I know. Everybody else has to pay. If you're a goalie, you make money.
I know, but right now, I got to pay to get all that gear for him.
Pads.
Right?
Yeah.
It's an extra expense.
It is.
All that extra stuff that you got to buy. Yeah. And then there's like goalie-specific school.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's like, specialty school, right? You might as well send the kid to space camp.
Yeah, no.
It's just as expensive when you got a kid who wants to be a hockey goalie. That's crazy.
My dad pulled me out of hockey because it cost too much and I wasn't doing well enough.
Yeah.
No, it was because you weren't doing well enough. Flip those two around.
Yeah.
If you're not going to try hard enough, I'm pulling you out of
No,
hockey.
it wasn't because it was too expensive and you weren't doing well enough. Is that you weren't doing well enough and it was too expensive. Right?
Yeah, I wasn't doing well enough.
If you were doing great, the cost would be justified.
Yeah.
So he pulled you out of hockey because you weren't good.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's the story. I don't know how it got spun the other way over the years, but you sucked at hockey and your dad refused to pay. That is not hockey was too expensive.
Yeah, that's facts right there.
Okay. So soccer, swimming, and basketball. Basketball's an easy one, like anywhere. You just find a net in any park and anything. There's a hoop. You're good, right? You don't need anything.
You need specialty shoes?
You don't even need more than two guys.
Pause.
What? What?
Sorry, say it again?
I said you don't even need more than two guys. Sometimes you could just do it with one guy.
That's the best.
Not to play like a game.
No, but I'm saying you can play. You can't go to a rink. You know how difficult it is for a kid to go to a rink like alone. Like
No,
you
I
got to
know.
pay for that.
Yeah.
You got to get laced
That doesn't
up.
exist.
It's right. It doesn't exist. But like if you're into basketball,
And you want to just practice your skills.
you just find a hoop, right? You and another guy even just sit around, play with each
cheesecake.
other. It's easy.
True.
What?
Nothing.
What does it matter with you?
Nothing.
Okay. I'm just saying basketball is easy. Well, it's not easy, but you know what I mean.
I know what
right?
you mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's easier if you have a friend, though.
Didn't you play basketball?
No, stop it. What does it matter with everybody today? Explain this to me.
I don't know. What's the matter with
I don't
you
know.
today?
Shem's got a look.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you got a look.
What do you mean?
Uh-huh. You don't think you have a look right now?
I prayed this morning.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The Olsen twins are how old, Mocha? Remember when the Olsen twins were real young? Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, and then they just became billionaires and sort of disappeared and ran their empire and kind of like dipped, which I fully respect that.
I don't know, like 36?
38.
Oh, okay.
38.
Do they still have like
They're billions?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, like an empire?
Yes.
Like I don't know what they do. Like what do they
I don't know.
Is it clothing? Is it jewelry? Is it
Yeah.
like home products? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is
I
it like
actually-
a Mary Kate and Ashley couch?
I don't know. Like, would you be
You can
interested
buy?
in a Mary Kate and Ashley couch? I imagine it would be little.
Yeah, like
You
I
might
don't
be
know.
interested in that.
Oh shush.
What?
Like what do they have?
It's
Like,
called The Row. It was
The
established
Row?
in 2006 by Mary Kate.
And what is it?
But what is
do
it?
they do?
Ready-to-wear handbags and accessories.
Yeah, that's what they do.
called
Handbags.
The Row.
handbags and
Yeah. You got the handbag money. But
Okay.
they had all that marketing. They made $1 billion off.
Oh my God! Their company is worth $100 million and $200 million. Oh, no, so their company makes $100 million and $200 million a year.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Hey, Mark,
Yo,
just-
dog, the math ain't mathin'.
company
Now we go to the business desk to find out
Thanks, Roz.
the status of the birthday girls, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Maury, how is their company doing?
Their company is doing great. Their company makes between $100 million and $200 million a year.
Okay.
Back to you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Pearson screening officers. Potential work disruption as thousands of screening officers at Pearson have voted in favor of strike action.
Oh,
so
come on.
99% of the 2,800 workers employed by Garda World Security voted to set a strike deadline in order to reach a fair and equitable collective agreement. The workers are looking for higher wages and better working conditions. The union says negotiations have been ongoing since the end of May and will continue until the end of this month. So if they don't get anything done, they will now be in a strike position. Also, the LCBO workers are now taking part in a strike vote. So its 9,000 members will vote online and by phone until 6 on Saturday evening to determine whether to call a strike if their negotiations break down in the coming weeks or months. One of the major sticking points between the union and the LCBO is assurances that jobs will not be lost as a result of them now being able to sell stuff in convenience stores, corner stores. The union says that the two sides remain far apart. So, two big strikes that may happen.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
5 years ago today, the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship.
6 or 7 from the foul line. 2-possession game. 114-110. Curry lets it fly. Canada, the NBA title is yours. The Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champions.
Stings,
Thank
man.
you, Kawhi Leonard.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Gayle King, yesterday, we were all blown away that Gayle King just out there saying too much about her best friend Oprah. So the story was that Oprah was supposed to be on CBS with Gayle King, and then Oprah had to cancel because she had some sort of medical thing. But then Gayle King goes on television and just says too much.
She had some kind of stomach flu where stuff was coming out of both ends. I won't get too graphic. But needless to say, she ended up in the hospital, dehydration, had an IV, so it was a very serious thing.
Whoa.
So it had to be.
Hope she's okay. Yeah.
She will be okay.
Good,
She will be okay. I hope she's not not mad at me for sharing that detail. But
I sure hope she is.
So
That's too much,
So
girl.
then Gail releases a phone call she had with Oprah asking if she went too far.
Yo, you can't just trust. You can't trust anyone.
And listen to Gail in this. So she broaches the subject once of like, did I say too much? And then Oprah really doesn't answer. And then, because Oprah's Oprah, right? Like maybe she doesn't want to get into it.
Sure.
But then Gail goes right back to it again. Listen.
No, I never said you were hospitalized. I did say that you had a stomach something was coming out of both sides, which it was.
I was in the emergency room I was so
Dehydrated. You were dehydrated,
I had like dry mouth, and I couldn't keep enough water down to get hydrated. So I went to the emergency room for that, and that's just it.
Were you offended because I said what I said about how what happened and how you're recovering?
No.
I really didn't think it was a big deal or that it would be something that would be upsetting to you. Otherwise, I never would have said
Put
it.
in reverse, Gail.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't have done that. No, I thought what you were trying to do is to explain why I wasn't there and doing that in a definitive way.
Okay, we'll let you go back, hon.
Everybody I've ever known that has access to my email has called me to say, "Are you all right?" Thanks.
And I know Gail tried to, word it the way she worded it, but really, you went on television and told the world that your best friend, who's one of the most famous human beings on the planet, had diarrhea.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that. Nobody goes on and says, hey.
Oprah Winfrey has.
Oprah's got diarrhea, so she can't be here today. That's what she said, right?
Do you need a doctor's note for that?
Oprah was supposed to be on with us this morning. Sorry, she couldn't make it. She has diarrhea. Like, who says that on television about their friend who happens to be Oprah? That's crazy to me.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tiffany Haddish.
Your girlfriend.
Stop
You in love with me?
No.
I'm in love with you. I love you forever.
Are you? So you hitting on me right now?
No. I'm with Jimmy Kimmel.
Harmonizing with yourself.
No.
Okay.
Talking to Jimmy Kimmel about when she got arrested for her DUI. But the good news was when this happened back in 2023, getting arrested in Beverly Hills is apparently not all that bad.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I ever commit a crime, ever in life, if I decide to commit one, I'm only doing it in Beverly Hills. I'm sorry, Beverly Hills, I gotta tell them.
Why?
Most beautiful police station I ever been in my life.
Really?
Baby, I've been in jail cell.
How nice.
I have been to jail many times. I've been to jail many times in my youth, okay, in my youth. And it's always crummy, always horrible. But in Beverly Hills, honey, they put me in my jail cell. I said, oh, this is nice. Look at this. It's clean. The toilets are clean. The water from the sink, sparkling water. Come on now. Have you been to that jail?
Not yet.
Okay, you gotta go. I'm telling you, it's nice. It's nice in there. The police are so respectful. And they had a call button in there. And this is how you know it's really fancy. You know they getting funded. It makes this noise, and then all of a sudden the voice, yes, Miss Haddish, do you need help? I'm like, oh my goodness, it works. Yes, girl. I need help. First of all, congratulations on being funded. And y'all, police station is nice. Very nice. I might think about moving into the community. They said, you can't do that. And then I said, okay, I didn't want to no ways. And then I was like, look, I'm having an issue here. Do you have any sanitary napkins? And she was like, yes. And then when I tell you, they brought me the biggest maxi pad I ever seen in my whole entire life. This thing went from the top of my belly button all the way to my bra strap. So comfortable, so fluffy.
Wow, Tiffany had it.
So fluffy.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.